Hello, everybody. I'm the last one. Try to wake you up a little bit here. So picture this. It's a rainy day in New Delhi, torrential rain in the monsoon, pouring down, and I'm standing at the front porch of my home, suitcase in hand. And my father says, "Get out of here and don't come back until you're a doctor." And thus started my first day of kindergarten. But he meant well. He thought I would make a decent living and be able to have a respectable career. He hadn't heard of AI yet. This is the last time I'm going to talk about AI. My name is Pankaj Vij. I'm an internal medicine doctor with an interest in lifestyle medicine. And my venture is this thing that we started about 2 years ago. It's called Crack the Wellness Code, and it's a community wellness health promotion platform. And I'm here to brainstorm with you guys to see how I can take it much, much further using the digital technology and the innovations that we've heard about in this room. Because let's face it, technology can empower the consumer, and ours is the only industry in which we've kept the consumer, the customer, out of the equation until this point. This results in a dysfunctional system where our customers are unhappy and we're burning out. But it's also the most promising time in medicine because I truly believe that in the next 10 years, things are about to change. We've evolved through this reactive model, right? With the advent of penicillin, this whole model of us doing things to people and they don't have any say in the matter works really well if someone's in the midst of an emergency. They call 911, an ambulance shows up, puts them in the ambulance, gets them to the hospital, gets a balloon in their coronary artery, 90-minute door-to-balloon time, works great. But let's face it, the majority of the health burden that we're seeing, the disease burden that we're seeing, is not from emergencies, it's from lifestyle. And lifestyle, getting someone to change their lifestyle is not really amenable to telling them what to do. It requires their participation. So it becomes much more of a proactive model than a reactive model. And that's the promise of technology as we shift towards sick care to health care and we bring the customer back into the equation, things are about to become a lot more fun. How many of you have patients that come in and they already have searched their condition on Google and they come in with a stack of sheets, papers, right? In my practice, it's 100%. And the source of information could be Google or the cover of Wall Street Journal or what they heard on CNN that morning or Fox News, CBS, NPR, People magazine, right? Celebrities making healthcare recommendations. The problem is that much of this information is not credible. And our job is to be the purveyors, the curators of this information because our patients look to us and say, "Hey, I heard this on the news. What do you think about it?" And I'm saying, "Oh, I don't watch the news, so I don't know what you're talking about." So to make that information credible and convenient, curated, is going to make the practice of medicine a lot more fun in the next 10 years. Because it's going to put the consumer back in the driver's seat, the greatest resource which we haven't yet used. Think about it. In our episodic model of care, you have someone who comes in for an annual physical once a year, or they're coming for a blood pressure check even once a month. Is only giving them a snapshot of really what's going on with their health. How many people here know someone with type 2 diabetes or type 1 diabetes? Well, let's think about type 2 diabetes because that's the majority. And about 50% of people with type 2 diabetes don't even check at all, don't use their glucometers. And the ones that do, they're using it once a day or even twice a day. That would be the equivalent of driving from here to Los Angeles with blindfolds on, and you're only removing the blindfolds about 2 times during that whole journey. Now contrast that with what the current technology is bringing us, continuous glucose monitors, right? You're getting real-time feedback. What a game changer. Smart scales. Your Apple Watch telling you when you have an arrhythmia. Yes, there may be some noise in these devices, but once we fine-tune that, care becomes continuous rather than episodic, and the customer, the client, the patient, the subject becomes the master of their own health destiny. How many people have seen this poster? It's not that common anymore, but this is Penn and Teller, right? This is a magic show in Las Vegas, and it used to be on top of every taxi cab, and you'd see it as soon as you land at the airport. But you might not know that Penn Jillette lost over 100 pounds by going on a whole food plant-based diet, and he's a big proponent of lifestyle medicine. But what you also might not know that almost the entirety of his journey in losing these 100 pounds was done digitally. He had his health coach who was in Huntsville, Alabama, and Penn Jillette lives in Las Vegas, and their entire coaching process happened through Skype, through text, and through digital apps. And my patients often ask me what the best health apps are. We heard from Dr. Dash this morning, and I really like the NEST acronym that he uses. So nutrition is the first one, right? People want to know good food sources. And let's face it, we didn't really get any knowledge and any training in nutrition. So I talk to them about the apps that I look at, the podcasts that I'm listening to. But what if we could curate that information and help someone navigate their journey using the best information that's available, that's already out there? The same thing for exercise, right? What are some of your favorite apps? I like the 7-Minute Workout or Nike Run Club or Under Armour Walk. But what if we could take someone who says, I want to lose 100 pounds and I want to do this in the next 6 months, and we tell them exactly what to do, and we can map out their journey, and we actually get them from where they are to where they want to be in that time using technology. I really truly believe that technology harnesses that solution. The third one is sleep. The fourth one he talked about was transcend or stress, right? And there's some wonderful apps, but again, this is all different apps. You really need to know sort of what are the best ones, how do I navigate them? Some of them are with a subscription, some of them are not. And sleep. Sleep is the most neglected master lever of health. And in one sense, you could argue that technology has stolen our sleep because we're constantly connected to our devices. We're spending so much time on our screens. But on the other hand, if we use it as a tool, we can also sleep better using technology. So what if we could put all this together and create a digital application that we can provide to our patient, put them in the driver's seat, right? Because the journey from getting from where we are to where we need to go is not going to be a straight line. It's a zigzag line. And we need Google Maps, we need Waze, we need navigation. That's where technology can help us. So we can educate our members, we can inspire them, we can empower them, we can ignite them, and really make an impact in their health. So that's what we're trying to do with this Crack the Wellness Code initiative. We're looking at moving it to a digital platform. Would love to hear input from anybody that has some ideas on how we might do that. And I'll just close with the cover of my book, Turbo Metabolism. Thank you.